the way it works is you go and you work in either their kitchen or you work in their in-house child care center, and they only give you a stipend. They call it a stipend, and it's $25 every 2 weeks.
Sapphire, how'd you find this place? Hello?
Hi, how are ya? I'm eating carrots. I apologize.
You're eating carrots?
Yeah, I'm just snacking. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's okay. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules.
Okay. I did not expect. Oh my gosh, my heart. I did not expect to my heart is beating fast. I didn't expect to actually get through.
What is your name?
I'm
gonna call you Carrot. Oh, Sapphire. Okay, we'll go Sapphire.
Sapphire's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Sapphire. Oh crap! What was I gonna say, Sapphire? Have we ever spoken before, Sapphire?
No, this is my first time.
Well, what's up, dude? How's life?
Okay, life is real funny right now. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no. So, for a little while now, I've been staying at a shelter, and so I've just been there and doing their program and saving money and everything. And I guess I'm struggling to figure out what exactly it is that I even want out of life anymore. The last few years have been like ridiculous, and I feel like they kind of took away my motivation to like do anything at all. But every day I wake up, I go to work, I do my job, which it's actually really funny because my job is providing clothes, shoes, school supplies, etc. to kids in the school district that are in the same situation as me. So it's actually funny because I've actually helped some of the people that I live in that place with. So that's pretty cool. But also funny.
How old are you?
Anyway, I'm gonna be 30 at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no, I guess I was just wondering if you were like in school, or like what school level is this? Like high school, college, middle school?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question?
Oh, sorry. What like level of school is this that you're working at?
Oh, like K through 12. Like
okay,
it's the
cool.
school district, and you know.
Okay, cool. Oh, you're helping. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm an idiot. Okay, no, now I understand.
No,
I'm dumb. I'm like, is this lady in middle school and she's helping out? And she's like, oh, it's ironic because I'm seeing the people I go to middle school with. I don't know why my brain went that. No, you're helping people who went to the same middle school, high school that you went to that were in a similar situation as you. Okay, I understand now.
No, I'm helping like any kid in the entire school district. It's a big school district, and then there's about 9,000 kids that identify as homeless in the district, and that includes living in hotels, motels, shared housing due to like financial difficulty, and things like that, living in a car, living in a shelter. So that is kind of what that encompasses. So that's it. Anyway, sorry. I don't even know. I guess I just called because I just wanted to just say hi. I don't know. It's just cool.
So, how long did you say you've been living at the shelter for?
Oh, so, and I keep saying things are funny, and they're not actually funny. I just say that. I guess it's been like a year. It's been a while. But I've been saving, so that's good.
How is life at the shelter?
Okay. I'm very grateful. I want to just say that right off the bat. Super duper grateful. First of all, it's the best one around. They are a Christian organization, so they do mandate that you go to their church for the first at least 90 days, and then you can start branching out and finding your own church. But they do require that you go to church 3 times a week. So, and you have to go to theirs at least once. And so that's Sunday morning, Sunday evening, and Wednesday evening. And when I first got there, it was very funny because, I'm sorry, I need to stop saying things are funny when they're really not. When I got there, the first sermon that I attended, the pastor said that we were all there because our sins brought us there. He preaches some really interesting things, mostly just talks about himself. So that's interesting.
Mm.
And there are a lot of rules that you have to follow, and there's not a lot of freedom. And I do understand it. I really do. But I also think that some of the people who work there aren't as compassionate as you would expect one in this field to be. And there's a lot of like, you can tell there's people who kind of look down on you, or who think that you don't, you couldn't possibly know any better than they do about, like, because you're in a certain situation, they kind of assume that you don't really know what you're doing, as opposed to like things just happened. And yeah, sometimes maybe it is that you don't know what you're doing, but they can't make that assumption and apply it to everyone. I think that's unfair. But really, 3 meals a day, I get to share just a room with just one person. Yes, there's curfews and stuff like that, but there's like, they have activities. They do require you to attend those activities, and sometimes you don't really feel like it, but who am I to not go to something if they're providing a roof over my head? They're helping me save. I don't have to pay rent. I get 3 meals a day. You know what I mean? So really, and we have like a case manager, a biblical case manager, they call them. And my experience so far has been pretty good. Not everybody's had the same experience, but you just got to follow the rules, I guess.
So this is like a private shelter.
Yes. So it's completely funded by private donation.
Interesting. I've never heard of that before. I know about the whole thing of like, Christian missionaries, like, helping the less fortunate and doing all that stuff. But it's interesting. I've never heard of like a thing where it's like, oh, you have to, like, I always kind of, I guess when I've seen it out in the wild and whatnot, it's been like hey, the church is doing like a feed the homeless thing, but I've never seen it be like, okay, you have to go to church.
Yeah, no, they make you. You could get written up if you don't go. You can get written up if you're late. You can get written up if your shoes are peeking out from under the bed. There's inspections like pretty frequently about for room inspections. And there's like a list of things you have to do to like maintain like cleanliness. You do have chores that you're assigned for. On my floor, it changes every month. And I have one chore on, oh my God, why can't I think right now? One chore on Monday, and then another chore and then 2 more chores on Thursday. And it's just so that we maintain our living space.
What are the sort of rules for the inspection?
Okay, make sure that when you leave for the day, you don't leave anything on. No lights on, like basic things, right? No lights on. Make sure that your AC in the room, that you turn off there's like this setting called constant fan. Make sure that's off. Make sure that it's at 70, or they're going to lock it and make it to where you can't set it any lower than 70, which is torture because it gets really hot in there and there's no ventilation. It's an old building. So there's that. And then make sure that you like vacuum, make sure you take out your trash, make sure you wipe things down, make sure it's not dusty, make sure you make your bed. Like, it just needs to look presentable for like if a donor wants to tour and kind of like see who, like what they're going to be donating to. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what that's for. That's basically it. And they have the women and children shelter. They call it the family home. And then they also have the men's center, which is a hotel that was converted to like a shelter for men. And their rules are more strict. They have to go to church every day. They get their phone taken away for their first 90 days or something. And then when they do get it back, they can only have it at certain hours. And it's like all this stuff. Oh, and here's the thing I don't like. Let me explain. There is this program. I'm not going to say the name of it because I feel like that gives away too much, like more than I've already given away. But basically, if you get there and you don't have a job, or you have a job they don't particularly think is gainful, like if you don't have gainful employment. So let's say that you're working at a gas station. They don't like that. What they make you do is their program. They call it a program that's supposedly meant to help you and everything. But the way it works is you go and you work in either their kitchen. So like the people that serve us food most of the time are people who stay there, like that they prepare the food and they serve us food. They're people who live there. So you do that. You can't opt out of that, right? If you don't have gainful employment, you can't opt out. Or you work in their in-house child care center, or you can even work at their like bargain store or whatever. So there's that. But so this program you have to do this program, and they only give you a stipend. They call it a stipend, and it's $25 every 2 weeks. So there's definitely things that can be improved, because I'm glad I came in with gainful employment, because I wouldn't have lasted there if I had to. So if you need to pay things like a storage, you're out of luck. And then they kind of make you prioritize them and what they want over like even I have a friend who was told explicitly, if you get an interview offer for the day that we have our meeting and it interferes with our meeting, call them and reschedule. And I'm like, but this woman is homeless with children and she needs a job. And if somebody's calling her for an interview, that's priority. But they don't see it that way. So they're very funny like that.
Sapphire, how'd you find this place?
So when I was living with a family member and some other people that were staying there, long story short, how do I put this? Okay, there was like drug use in the house, and I was not okay with that. My stuff was being stolen and sold so that these people could go and buy drugs. And like, it was real crazy. It was a mess. There were animals that weren't really being taken care of. And like, I had to like pitch in for those things, and it was crazy. And then when the moment where I said I have to leave, besides being kicked out every time I asked a question, like, how much do we owe the landlord or whatever the case may be. And they didn't like questions. Like every time I asked a question, they were like, I don't want you here, you gotta leave. It doesn't work that way. You can't just ask me how much we owe the landlord. And it's like, okay, whatever. So the day that I decided I needed to leave that place was when somebody in that house just did something really violent not to me, but in front of me, that resulted in, I just don't want to say it because it's really, like this person could really get in trouble, but they did something really intense, really violent. So they did that, and then they actually did that in front of 2 kids that stayed there. And and then they told me, their kids actually, and then they told me that well, my kids have already seen enough, like, you need to leave. And so when they were out of the state for some work things, they actually left the car, and they said I could use it. And so I was out sick from my job with COVID and flu at the same time. And then I basically took the car and started going around to, like, I called 211 looking for resources, and they kind of gave me a few. And so I went to the first one, and they said, oh, well, we can't really help you, but go check out this place down the street. So when I went in, they had me fill out an application, because they go by applications, and there's a waiting list of hundreds. So they had me fill out an application, and the person who's my case manager today, she is the one who accepted it. And then they called me for an interview, and like, I did this in secret from my family member that I was staying with, and I went and did an interview, because you have to do an interview with like a panel interview type thing with different case managers and stuff. So I did that, and then they told me that I was accepted and that I needed to move in that Saturday, and then I did. And when I tell you, I remember when I first got there, I heard like footsteps down the hall, and I was like laying down, because I'm like, well, what do I do? They're like, well, you can like chill, you can do whatever you want. So like, I'm like, well, it'd be really nice to lay down, I'm really tired. So I was laying down, and I heard footsteps, and I got this, like, my heart started pounding, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm laying down, so-and-so is going to be mad at me because I'm not up and doing whatever, and da-da-da-da. And then I was like, oh wait, I don't have to panic like that anymore. I'm okay. Like, everything's okay. So I have had a lot of peace here, but it's also not been easy, not having like freedom and stuff, and not being able to stay overnight anywhere, because they're like, well, if you can stay overnight somewhere, then you have somewhere to stay. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way, actually. It's just,
How many other people are in this place with you? Like, not like how many other people are like staying there?
Well, I know that there's 89 kids there, and many more adults. So I don't know. It's definitely well over 100. I know on my floor there's like how many ladies? It's like 11, 12 ladies on my floor.
This is kind of why I've never heard. I mean, I've of course I've heard of like, you know, like government sponsored shelters, but I've never heard of like these like strict religious.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't really
places.
call themselves a shelter. They call themselves a residential program or like a transitional living program, which I think is more suitable because they don't really offer emergency shelter, not at the women's center. They're more of like you apply, they accept you, and then you do the program. And you have to go to their Bible class, and you have to go to their, what's the other thing? You have to go to a parenting class even if you don't have and you don't want kids. But you have to do the class. And if you don't do it, you know, if you get written up 3 times because you didn't follow the rules, you got back after curfew, etc., you know, then you get written up 3 times, you're out. Yeah.
So, okay, I mean, let's talk about you, Sapphire. So you have this job, you're helping out kids in the school. Is it a paid job?
Yeah, no, it is a paid job.
Okay,
so far,
great.
it's the highest paying job I've had.
Great, and you're saving up some money?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Do you have like friends and family?
I do have family. Are they reliable? Are they able to help me? Not at this time. My brother is moving to a different country, and he's been struggling too lately. He's moving to my older brother, moving to a different country. My younger brother was recently arrested, not for the first time, but for fleeing or attempting to elude, and that was multiple counts. They had to stop the car with a spike strip. So that's interesting. So he can't help me. He's homeless right now himself, and he refuses to follow anyone's rules. So he declines, you know, me telling him, go to the shelter. Like, what are you going to do? You want to be homeless? Or go stay at a shelter and have to follow a few rules. You know, I understand it's strict, but like, what are you going to do? And he's like, oh, but they won't let me smoke weed there. And I'm like, well, so you'd rather be homeless than smoke weed? Okay, great. My sister is, she's my sister, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. I love them all, but, you know, she's not able to help me. She's got, you know, obligations of her own to take care of, and, you know, so there's that. And these are all, like, I've helped my siblings a lot when I was in a good, you know, place, when I had my own place for 5 years, you know, in the years leading up to this, I had my own place and everything. So I've helped them. They've stayed with me. They've borrowed my car, etc.
Okay.
And then I have my parents, not an option. My mom, different state. My dad, out of the country, and he's a jerk, and I don't like him very much. But he is married to a very wealthy woman, so good for him. The person who raised me, like, as my stepdad, another state, and he's, you know, remarried now, and he doesn't really care about me anyway. And my grandparents are living in like a hotel room here, and my grandma's a hoarder, so her house in a different, like, she has a house in a different city, and then she has like a hotel room that she privately owns here in this city where I live. And so she's taking care of my great grandma, and there's no room there. And like I said, she's a hoarder. It's very, you have to like walk sideways to like get through the place. Mm-hmm. So I can't really stay with her. So that's it. Sorry, so, my answers are very long-winded.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So, okay. Well, I'll say this thing. It's nice. I think what's good to me about this phone call is that, you know, though you've been there a year, you don't seem to have drank the Kool-Aid.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. It seems as though this is I assume you want to leave this place. You're trying to save up and you want to get out of
that's the plan. I've been looking at apartments actually lately.
Okay, great. Yeah. Because this place, I don't know these, and I'm making assumptions about things that I don't know, but it seems like the kind of place that I guess wants you to be in some form of like submission to them, you know, and I'm sure that a lot of people go through this system and have gone through the things you've gone through and have, you know, been in this place, and they find themselves, you know, again in some form of submission. And I don't know, I don't know who they're submitting to. Do you know what kind of, what I'm saying? Like, this seems like the kind of place where they want you to, like, join them and serve their mission and their rules and be their kind of, like, you know, submit to whatever their thing is. Am I crazy? Am I talking crazy?
I am so sorry. Could you repeat that last part? I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. I'm being vague, but you know, you're yeah, you know, I think that it's good that you have a plan to get out of the situation, you know. Sorry, I'm reading the chat on the Twitch, and a lot of people are saying it sounds like a lot of people are saying it sounds like a cult, and maybe that got into my head. But this person said, this sounds cultist, but this is how all transitional living facilities work.
Yeah, everywhere you go, they're gonna have rules and things like that they expect you to follow. When it's actually not my first time being in a situation like this. When I was, you know, like 10 years ago, my things happened with my parents and everything, and my stepdad stole my last bit of money, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and we were getting kicked out of this place that we were in because apparently they were not paying rent at all. And so I went to, like, you know, a shelter then, and I was only there for a few months, but it's same thing, rules, curfew, don't bring food inside, that kind of thing, you know, like make sure things are nice and neat when you leave. I know there's always rules, and I guess I don't know if it's clear that, like, while I have been saying, like, yeah, there's a few things that could change, it doesn't change the fact that I am grateful, and that my experience, despite being a little stressful sometimes, has largely been a really positive one.
Good.
And so I guess I'm hoping that comes across, though I don't know if it does, and I don't know if the people listening have, like, taken that from what I've said.
I think the people listening and me I'm going to assume are just glad to hear that you feel as though you have a path forward that is, you know, your own, I would say.
Well, thanks. And thanks to the people listening, too, for their positivity.
Well, shit, Sapphire. I appreciate you sharing all of this with us.
I appreciate you listening. I don't really have people to talk to, so thank you.
Is there any is there any other kind of aspect of anything at all, or of any of this or whatever that you wanted to talk about?
You know, I guess I wasn't really 100% clear on what I was going to talk about when I got on the phone anyway. So I'm just glad that I got to talk to you at all. And I appreciate that you listened.
Rock and roll. Well, thank you, Sapphire. Good luck to you, and you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Sapphire. That was interesting. I've never heard of, like, but she was right about, like, I guess all of these places have rules, you know. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of, like, a religious private shelter that, like, makes you go to church. I don't know. I feel like there's probably going to be people in the Spotify comments that are like, this is the Jenkins whatever in southern Oklahoma, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out when I read the comments. But I don't even give a fuck about any of that shit. I'm just glad that this lady seems to be getting on her feet and doing okay. So that's good. Hello?
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
What's up? What's up?
Lyle, this is Kat. We talked a while ago.
How long ago did we talk?
Just like, let's see, a couple of months, I guess. I'm the one who makes stickers.
You're the one who makes stickers. You'll have to be. Can you give me more specific?
Yeah, sorry. I'm like just waking up. Okay. Wow. I really
wait. Hold on. Actually, are you You're like a coach of some kind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yes. All right. I remember exactly who you are.
Visiting my mom and my brother. Yeah, and I actually happen to be back in Maryland right now visiting my mom and my brother.
So, yeah, no, I remember our conversation. I liked our conversation very much. I remember, I don't remember, like, I know we talked for a long time about just life in general. But, yeah, I know, I got to ask you, so did you get any coaching I know that, you know, I don't think people come on here to self-promote, but I really liked our conversation, and so I was super happy to have you promote yourself on there. Did you get any good any feedback or clients or anything from our conversation?
Dude, I did. I got 2 clients from our conversation, as well as a really awesome coffee with somebody else who wants to do like more of what I'm doing. So I had like a lot of really cool connections based on that episode, actually.
Wait, that's so cool. You met somebody in real life who messaged you from the show.
I had multiple people message me from the show and join my coaching program, and I did one-on-one coaching with 2 different people who found me because of that episode.
That's so cool. I mean, I don't know. You don't have to get into specifics if these are like private things, but like what? How did the sessions go?
Yeah, awesome. They've actually both like moved on from coaching in really awesome ways. So one. I don't want to get too specific because I haven't actually asked them if I can talk about them, but one decided that based on our focus in coaching, which was focused a lot on like mental health and just like solidifying your routine as a creative and as a business owner before like giving away all of your time to all of these other things. And essentially because of that focus, he decided, you know what I really want right now is therapy. So he left coaching to go pursue therapy, which I was like, that's perfect. That's amazing. That's exactly what should happen. Then the other had a really similar story of like, they came to me saying, okay, I want to do something else with my life, not what I'm doing. And then they left coaching because they had transitioned into doing the thing with their life.
Oh, so what do they end up doing with their life? Or is that, I guess that's too much to ask.
That's probably too much, but they landed their dream job essentially. And it was like a work study gig. So they're studying to pursue their dream job, but because they're studying, they get to work in that field also.
Cool, man. Well, I'm super happy. Yeah, no, I remember. I really liked our conversation. We talked a lot about just like ADHD crap.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear.
Asked me, like,
go ahead.
He was like,
Sorry.
so when are you going to call Lyle back? And I was like, oh, I mean, I guess I should like make some progress in my life and like talk to my mom and like do kind of the stuff that you and I had talked about. And it's just, I don't know. I saw the notification that you're going live and I was like, damn, that's perfect. I was like, I'll call 3 times. And then on the 3rd time you picked up.
No, that's, I'm happy to hear that you were, I love when like this podcast is like it's like a, what it could have like a domino effect, you know? I mean, I remember in the early days when I was like a little bit more Twitch and Discord focused, you know, there were people talked about like meeting each other in the Twitch chat or in the Discord or, you know, I know that there back when we had the caveman on and he got a lot of, you know, people hitting him up and it was, you know, it was cool. I love shit like that. Like when people connect with each other, you know, based off of like finding each other on the show. It's cool. It's like, I love that this shit, you know, extends beyond me.
And I love that you are not just like willing, but eager to use your platform in that way, because I know for me, the difference it's made in my life. Like it literally, I'm cool. Like full on my client load. Like I did it. I made the business happen because not like to attribute all of it, but like a big part of it was just getting the name out there from showing up on your episode.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome. That's great. Well, shit, Kat. Well, let me see here. Is there any other like kind of updates that you wanna give us?
Oh my gosh. What's new in my life? Let's see. I don't know. I think honestly, I think that's like as much as I wanted to tell you. It's just, hey, it worked. We did the thing. Thanks for collaborating, making it happen.
Any oh well, okay, this will be my last question then, I guess. Is there any other stickers down the line that we should know about, or any new sticker designs that you could audibly describe to us?
You know what? There aren't, and I'm really glad you asked, because that's like the self-promo. That would be my ask, is send me your sticker designs. I know that I want to draw the demon tiger from K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm obsessed, of course. And
it comes up on my Netflix. Like, it's the first thing that comes up on my Netflix.
So you haven't watched it yet?
No, I haven't watched it yet. But it throws itself at me. It really wants me to get into it.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to give you a glowing recommendation of K-pop Demon Hunters, and okay. I know the hesitation of, I'm not going to watch that because it's a kid's movie, it's a musical, it's animated. You're like, Netflix is really pushing this down my throat. I want to ignore it. Here's the thing, you can't. Because remember back in the day when Pixar was making all these awesome fucking films, and we would like watch like robots fall in love and save the earth, and
you're telling me that this thing that I saw on my Netflix that I honestly brushed off as a joke, K-pop Demon Hunter, is too on the nose. It's like too it's too culturally just on the nose of a thing. I'm like, I know. And then and you're telling me it's Pixar level quality.
I am telling you, it is like the rebirth of the original Pixar, like life and breath of animation films. But it's from Sony, who produced the Mitchells and the Machines and Spider-Verse. And
okay, I like okay, all right. So it's of that caliber of thing. I didn't like the Mitchells and the Machines, but I like the Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
I like the way. I like that style. Okay, I'm gonna be super honest with you.
It's so on the nose. It's so annoying.
Sure.
It's so like culturally. Yeah, I get it. And I was like, I had the same thought, and then I just sucked it up and watched it because I got a glowing recommendation from somebody I trust, and they are indeed correct. And you just go into it knowing, okay, it's so on the nose. It's gonna be fun. It's fun. That's it.
Okay, I'll think about it and probably not do it, but even if I won't, somebody listening to this might give it a shot, and that's worth something.
I watched K-pop Demon Hunters with my mom and my stepdad last night as our emotional support movie, because
that's nice.
A friend of mine had recommended that, like she had gone and seen some family and they watched it, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. It's nice neutral ground. It's just media. It's good. So I watched it with them, and then like remembered all over again why I love it so much, and watched like 2 hours on YouTube afterward to fall asleep of other people talking about K-pop Demon Hunters.
That's the only reason to finish any movie or TV show is so that you can be spoiler free and go on YouTube and watch other people talk about it.
Exactly.
Kat, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Hang in there, everybody. When you set goals and you work toward them, you get there. I promise.
Thanks for calling, Kat.
Thanks, Lyle.
That was a nice return call. Yeah, I forget what the name of that episode that we did was, but I do remember her. And again, very cool that I love seeing lines intersect because of this show. You know, that things that, are beyond me. I think it's cool. Hello?
Hey, Lyle.
What's up, man? What's your name?
My name's Richard.
Richard. That's my
yes.
That's my father's name.
Oh, it's a fake name. It's a pretty good fake name, though.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's also a fake name for my father. I'm being serious. That actually is not my father's name.
Very good.
So it's my fake name for my father and your fake name for yourself.
Well,
Richard.
I'll be honest. I was going to make a joke. I was going to be like, hey, my name's Richard, but you can call me Dick. That's
not a joke. That's just a statement. That's just an accurate thing.
Yeah, but the Dick part was supposed to be the joke. I'm sorry.
You don't have a thing to be sorry about, Richard. What's up, man? What do you want to talk about today?
Hey, I have a very interesting story. Happened to me about a month ago. I tried kratom, and I took kratom for about 2 weeks. Have you ever heard of kratom?
Yeah, kratom's very new. They sell it in, there's kratom and kava bars. And I've been to those, and I've tried it I've never bought it at a gas station, but I've tried it at one of the bars, and I gotta be honest, I don't get it.
Well, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing to get. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete ripoff. But it did send me to the hospital for 3 days.
Oh, okay. Well, then, then it's definitely something.
You would think, but it's really, 0 out of 10 would not recommend the experience to anyone else.
What happened? Did you have a heart attack?
No, so basically I started taking kratom and took it within the regulated dose, or at least what the package said. And after a while, apparently this caused liver toxicity. And the liver toxicity turned me yellow, made me, vomit immensely. And eventually I was in so much pain, I went to the hospital with the legitimate belief I was going to die.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I do not recommend kratom to anyone else.
What were you thinking about when you thought you were going to die?
So that's actually really interesting. I realized, and I'll be honest, I'm actually in my late 30s. And, married, I have a kid on the way, and that's what I was thinking about primarily. But quite frankly, I was thinking about how much time I wasted and how much regret I had up until this point. And it really gave me kind of a new lease on life once I got out of the hospital, that I no longer want to live with any further regrets or anything like that. So maybe some good did come out of this.
Wow, you had an LSD psychedelic realization, but on kratom.
Well, yes, while my liver tried to kill itself.
What did you... Okay, so when you thought you were going to die and you were thinking about your regrets, what do you regret?
Just all the opportunities that I never took advantage of because I was too afraid to, just what you and people call in all the time about, just going up to people and saying hi, introducing yourself, really putting yourself out there because, I was so afraid of rejection for so long. I realized there was a lot of missed opportunities, missed experiences, and a lot of stuff I'm probably going to continue to regret because I obviously can't fix the past.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let's get into a few things. You also mentioned wasted time, right? What did you waste time doing?
Pretty much nothing. Whether it was, just getting intoxicated on alcohol or, alone playing video games in my room till 2 a.m. Just a lot of time I felt like it could have been better spent either bettering myself, whether it's, physical exercise, doing something a little more productive, reading books, meeting people, talking to people, all that type of stuff.
Okay. And then what are these opportunities that you... Because you're saying... And how old are you? 38?
38.
And you're saying that you're going to continue to regret these things? What is it that you're continuing to regret moving forward, or that you see yourself continuing to regret?
Well, not introducing myself to certain people or taking advantage of certain opportunities. I don't want to be too specific, but it's a classic, hey, should I go up to that girl and talk to her? No, wait, she might say no, and her friends will laugh. Richard,
you have a wife and a kid. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I'm very happy to where I am, but I realized at that time, when I was making those decisions, I was regretting not making those choices to put myself out there.
Okay, but so here's what I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but when you say you like, so I assume, because here's the thing, romantically, I mean, you seem like you're happily married and you have a wife. So romantically, everything worked out great. You happy with your wife?
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. You didn't even hesitate. So there's no regrets there. And then, so what are you regretful of?
Just not putting myself out there because of fear of rejection.
Okay. What do you want? You're not dead. You're not dead. There we go. You're not dead.
No.
You almost died. You almost died in a pretty hilarious way.
Yes, which, good.
And now you're not dead. And so you want to live life differently. What do you want to do differently?
I want to, and it's a little, I don't want to say too late to do this, but I do want to put myself out there. I do want to, perhaps talk to people, get involved, do stuff, not just, go home, 9-to-5 job, go home, wait until you go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. Hey, the weekend comes. We're just basically wasting time waiting for Monday to come. I want to get up, I want to exercise. I'm going to start to exercise once I'm 100%. I want to read more. So I really want to take life more by the horns,
Yeah. I guess I'm a little bothered by the fact that you're saying that you're going to continue. Like, why are you holding on to this regret?
It's fear of missing out, basically. All the stuff that could have happened, which I understand. I'm very happy with my current life.
Yeah.
It's just, perhaps it's one of those instances where you're not satisfied kind of what you have, and you want what you could have had. But I don't know. I'm very satisfied with what I had, but there's still going to be that regret.
Sure, but I don't know, man. You seem like you have a nice life, right? You got a nice, you have a wife you're really happy with. You have a kid I'm sure you're really happy with. And so, I mean, you want, like, I guess it sounds like you want, like, friends and community and experiences and to do weird, cool, interesting things. And I don't see any reason why you can't do those things as long as you're not, letting your child starve or whatever. Where do you live?
I live in a rural part of America.
Okay. That's a little bit tougher.
It's a little bit tougher, but, that's one of the things that would prevent me from going to do something. It's, that's an hour and a half drive from here. Now, kind of after getting out of the hospital and, thinking I was going to die for 2 days, that's not that big of a deal. An hour and a half drive to go to an event to meet a bunch of people. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, where I'm much more open to that stuff now.
Good. Cool. I like that. I guess in talking to you, the thing about, like, I'm going to continue to regret the past, I think is, I was about to say I'm being an armchair therapist, but I guess that's the whole thing of the thing. It's like, why would you do that? It's like it doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form to hold that, because you could convert it, right? Because I went on this rant recently, and I've been thinking about this in my own life with these things, and I constantly check myself. I'm like, do I have any regrets? And nobody does everything 100% correct. I went on this fucking rant on the show already, but I'll do it again. Like nobody lives life 100% correctly, and everything is just error correction and just fucking up you're in correcting. And so, like, to sit and carry any amount of like, shucks, it could have been different is not a good mindset, right? Instead, it's like, okay, well, I made those decisions that I didn't, I made them with the body and the mind that I had at the time I made them. But look, I have a fucking wife and a kid, and I have a job, and I have a house, and I have energy, and I'm 38, and I'm relatively young. I'm not 74. I'm not gonna die. Let's see what I can do in the future. You know, I think just to hold on to regrets of the past is a really unhelpful thing to do. Unless if it's already served you in the way that it should, which is directing your future, and it seems like it's already done that.
Yeah. I like what you're saying about error correction, because that's honestly what life is about. You're never, I mean, you only get one shot at it, so you're never going to do it perfectly. So it's all about kind of, I guess, and I'm really trying to deal with the concept of letting go of that, you know, fear of missing out, regret, kind of whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't go away. It's kind of easier said than done to just like, this isn't serving me, I'm going to get rid of it.
Totally. And by the way, you're 100% right. It's absolutely easier said than done. I have hundreds of thousands I have so many thoughts and behaviors and emotions constantly every day that do not serve me in any way, shape, or form, that I know don't serve me in any way, shape, or form, that correct is easier said than done. But you know what? But I just don't let it get in the way of you doing the shit you want to do. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it'll be a little trickier when you have. I mean, you have a pregnant wife, right?
Yes.
Is she like, hey, what the fuck? What are you doing driving an hour and a half to go to this chess game? Or
no, because she saw kind of my transformation over the past few months after this incident happened. No, she's happy that I'm being a lot more active. I'm not just sitting on the couch, kind of waiting for the weekend to be over so I can do my 9-to-5 crap again.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice lady. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you have a new lease on life. I mean, it sounds like you have a perfect testimonial. This is the best testimonial I've ever heard for kratom.
Yes, I'll tell you this: never listen to a product that's being sold to you by a podcast named Cumtown.
You heard about kratom from Cumtown?
Yeah, they advertise it.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's funny. Look at look at the Cumtown guys. They're all around your age, and they're all fucking still doing things.
There's no way they're doing kratom as well.
No, they're probably not doing kratom. What's your name again, man?
Richard.
Richard, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go? Or I don't know if you feel like there's anything else you want to say about any of this stuff. I'm happy to keep talking about it, but if not, no worries.
Oh, no, I just wanted to share my testimonial of kratom and basically tell everyone, look, be kind to one another. We only got one chance at this, so let's at least not be dicks to each other.
Thank you, Richard. I'll see you around the universe.
You have a great day, sir.
Well, I think about regret a fair amount. I don't really have any regret. I have a few regrets, but I don't let them destroy me. I mainly regret any time that I was a dick, or that I was most of my regrets are about very emotionally charged things. Because anytime I was a dick, there was some emotional quotient to it. I think that's always true. I don't think anyone's ever a dick in their right mind. You have the higher versions of yourself when you're, when you're there's a lot of versions of me. There's me when I'm dressed I'm fully clothed and I'm at a place and I'm on my laptop. That's a very different guy than, me naked in my room, jerking off at 4 a.m. Those are different guys. Anytime, that's just one example. Or me when I'm pissed off, that's a different guy. Or me when I'm annoyed or have low energy, that's a different guy. But when I'm at the because I'm not like thinking about your regrets in life is something you do when you're at the higher version of yourself. You're not like jerking off or like annoyed at someone screaming at you on the subway or whatever and being like, what regrets do I have in my life? You're just emotionally existing. And so there's a constant fight between you as you emotionally exist and you as you logically exist. And me as I logically exist, I think I'm yeah, that's what I regret. Anytime I was a dick or was worried too much.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
That's insane. Hi. I listen to your podcast all the time when I'm at work.
Dude, hell yeah. What's your name?
My name's Fran.
Fran. Okay, I'm gonna actually remember your name this time. Fran.
It's okay if you don't. I wanted to call you and talk about my job because I love my job so much.
Sure. Wait, we've never spoken before, right?
Never. No.
Okay, rock and roll. Hit me. What's your job?
So I work at a farm. It's a goat farm, and they do baby goat rentals, which is super fun. And they go to fairs, and you can do baby goat snuggling.
You can rent a baby goat?
Yes, you can rent a goat for like a night or two. It's really fun.
How much does it cost to rent a goat?
It depends on how many goats you're getting. I think one is like $60, and it depends on how long you're having them.
How much does it cost to rent a goat for one night?
For one night? I'm not entirely sure. I don't really do the rental part of it. I take care of the farm animals. Where in the country is this farm located? Not like the exact, but like, general region. I can tell you the exact because the farm I work on actually has a YouTube channel and everything.
Oh, okay.
So I work on a farm called Steinmetz Family Farm, and it's in Temple, PA.
Okay. And now, do you vet the people who rent these? You can, like, if I have $60, I can take a goat and bring it home with no questions asked. That's all I need. Is there a vetting process of any kind?
So obviously, like, the goats have all their shots before they get with you. And then my boss will take a picture of your ID and just make sure, like, your license plate and make sure, like, you're a safe person.
Can I ask you something? It's in my mind, and it's my fault that it's in my mind, but I gotta ask you this question.
Of course.
You think people are fucking these goats?
What? No, absolutely not.
You don't think there's been a single little freaky guy in, like, rural Pennsylvania who's like, I have $60 and I'm alone and he wants to fuck a goat? You don't think that's ever happened?
No. People who rent from us usually are moms or families, older people. I don't think that's ever happened.
Okay, someone else in the Twitch chat. I don't usually read the Twitch chat, but somebody else in the Twitch chat said I had the exact same thought, and now I feel a little less crazy. You've never had like a ghouly looking older gentleman come up, and you've never had that?
No, but my boss has had people come to the farm and try to buy the goats to eat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my boss would never let that happen, though.
Isn't it funny that's like that's theoretically worse for the goat? I guess. I don't know.
I wouldn't know either. I've actually, that thought has never crossed my mind. There was.
Well, you're a good person that the thought has never crossed your mind. You're a good your brain stays within normal human being limits. I appreciate that about you.
I love I love animals so much. They're my heart and soul.
So what do people just like rent the goats, and what do they do with them? They just like take them home for a second?
Yeah, some people take them home for parties, like birthday parties. Some people just have them for, kids' birthdays, like when the kid is having a birthday and she wants a specific goat. Because we go to fairs, and we do goat snuggling there. So people will pick a favorite goat, and then for their birthday, they might come to rent that specific goat. So.
And how long have you been
Really
working
fun,
with these goats?
I want to say this is my 3rd month.
Oh, so you're very new to the goat industry. The goat industry seems like something that there's a lot of lifers in it.
It's hard work. A lot of lifting, a lot of just moving, a lot of poop.
And how old are you, Fran?
I'm 18.
Oh shit! Okay, you just got into. Is this like your thing? Like, are you going to go to college, or are you going to go into goats?
So actually, I'm going to beauty school then. But I'm going to be with the farm for a while. I love my job so much. I really do.
That's very nice. That's very nice. What do you see yourself doing for the future?
I want to become an esthetician. So that's like skincare, makeup, stuff like that. I'd love to pursue that. And still volunteer on the farm that I work at.
Mm-hmm. How did you get involved with this farm? Did you mention that already?
No, I did not, but it's quite a story. So, my family had chickens at our house, and we had 6 chickens, and one of them got attacked by a hawk. Now, I still live with my parents, so my family didn't really want to take the chicken to the vet because it's a chicken, and that's a lot of money. So I called the first petting zoo, basically, that was near me, and I said, "Can you help me? My chicken is hurt," and that's how I met them.
And oh shit, what was I gonna say? Do you ever have any like farm rascals? Does anyone ever like cause trouble on the farm?
Yes. If you're talking goat-wise, yes.
Yeah, like any like foxes or are there like tricksters,
No, not foxes.
tricky critters?
No. But the goats can have quite big personalities. There's this goat, Tenley. Tenley is such a pain in the butt. She basically jumped on my back and then jumped off my back to get into this stall that we have for grains to eat.
You know, it's like you live in a children's book. It's very nice.
I love it. I do. I don't have to deal with people always saying things and like getting all mad. Old people especially are just
Well, Fran, let me ask you this. I guess, is there anything else that you want to talk about or say before we go?
Just it's a pleasure to be on here. I've been wanting to call you since I was 16, so it's amazing.
Well, I'm glad you found a thing that you like doing, and I hope that the goats remain kind to you.
Yeah, check out the YouTube channel.
What is it?
Farm.
Well, here, I'm gonna look at it right now. What is it?
Steinmetz Family Farm.
Steinmetz Family. Oh, there it is. Steinmetz. Oh shit! It comes up immediately. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Hey there, I'm the goat father. Oh, this guy's a real goat tuber. What's his most popular video?
Yeah. It's the one about
shit.
hope.
Yeah, it's a big fucking bull. Wait, no, is that a goat or a bull?
You might be the one where he got stabbed in the leg by a bull.
Let's see.
My boss is quite a personality. His name's Justin. He's great.
My garage is overrun by giant rats, parentheses, not clickbait. Yeah, I endorse this. I endorse the Steinmetz Family Farms YouTube channel. Fran, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Rent goats.
Thank you, Fran. Have a good rest of your night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Fran. You know, okay, here's the thing. I feel a little bad asking if people fuck the goats. But here's the thing, is I really can't not be myself, and it is of myself to be like, are people fucking the goats? So that just it happened. That's what I thought that's what occurred in my head when I imagined that's in rural Pennsylvania. Not there's anything wrong with rural Pennsylvania, but I'm like, it's what Murphy's Law? What's the thing? Anything that can happen does happen. That's my fault. But she was a nice, sweet. She seemed like a very wholesome person, and that's good. And goats are nice, and I do think you should check out the Steinmetz Family Farm. They have cool videos. Hello?
Hello?
What's up, man?
Oh, did I make it through? What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing okay, brother. What's your name?
My name is William.
William.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, William? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just wanted to talk about a little phenomenon that's been pretty relevant to my own life recently.
Ooh, phenomus.
Yes. I don't know if it's technically a phenomenon, but like, why not just call it that, you know?
I agree.
So, pretty much like having a hobby that turns into a job, and then you kind of start to hate the hobby, you know? So that's kind of what I've been wrestling with a little bit.
What's your hobby that you turned into a job?
So I'm a graphic designer. I went to school for it, did the whole thing. And now I do it as a 9 to 5, and I'm just like, definitely not as fun anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
I think there's a big, I think that separating what you do for money and what you do for your own personal sense of enjoyment can be good. I mean, even like, dude, I don't know, even like, what's his name? I'm not going to talk about anyone specific because I don't know this shit, but like, even like famous filmmakers, right? Like they have their little like, weird little movies they want to make, but they don't make any fucking money.
Yeah.
But so then they go and they sign on to direct like some Marvel movie or some bullshit, right?
Right.
Makes money.
And then that funds like their passion project, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. I mean, if the thing that you're really, 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 really passionate about is the thing that also makes money, you're very lucky. But it's not always the case.
Exactly.
Even like cool. Even like if you're doing something cool, even if you're doing like a fucking like YouTube channel or you're making art or whatever, it's very rare that like the exact type of art you want to make, the exact version of the thing you want to do is also the thing that makes money.
Right. And then you tend to like romanticize what it would be like, and then you get there and you're like, this is not what I pictured,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of in that space, and I felt like you could relate to that because I'm sure this started as a hobby for you, and now it's grown into something so much more,
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about that, which is that. There's been a lot of there's a lot of aspects to what I do, and some like there's sort of 3 categories of the things that I've been doing as the Gecko over the years. There's things that are purely lucrative. There's things that are, and there's things that are purely lucrative that I am not like. ecstatic about, I guess. But
Mhm.
it's a good job to have.
Yeah, totally.
There's things that are fun and lucrative, like things that make money and are also really fun and cool and interesting. And then there's things that I am like super interested in and love doing, and I'm like, this is the shit, but it does not make any money.
Yeah,
and in fact loses money.
totally.
So I've been doing a lot of different things with the Gecko, between like the podcasting and the touring and the making these little documentaries, and they all fit into different categories. But in my mind, the way I have everything kind of set up is like, okay, I have certain things that are more lucrative that kind of fund the things that I'm really excited about, that maybe aren't as lucrative. I'd like to live in a world where the things I'm really, really stoked on are the things that, are kind of a self-sufficient thing. But, I think having kind of what you do to make money and what you do to just be the thing that you like doing, I think it's almost kind of good to make those separate, because then it's like, when everything is crumpled up into one ball, it's you don't really know where your kind of artistic desires begin and end, and where the money stuff begins and ends.
Right.
So I think if it's okay to have like, okay, this is my graphic design job that I do, I'm good at this and I'm skilled at it, and so this is what I do to just make a living, and then it allows me to fund the crazy furry hentai that I really want to make. That's my
exactly
thing, whatever it is. But I think that's a perfectly legitimate way to, and don't feel bad, because is a real inclination to beat yourself up about it. There's a real inclination to beat yourself up about it.
It's like I feel like I should be super stoked and like high on life all the time because I was able to turn a hobby into a job. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's a job. And that,
of
like,
course,
when I was stoked on it, I was doing it for myself. Whereas now I feel like I'm in service to other people, which is awesome. Like, I'm glad that people find value in what I do. But at the same time, it's like, I don't really want to do this for you,
Yes. And if I were you, and this is kind of what I do in a lot of the things in my life that are like this, is just you can take it, and because right now it kind of sounds like everything's jumbled up into one ball, right? And it's okay if you take it. It's okay if you take it and you rip it in two pieces, and you go like, okay, this is my job, this is my work, this is what I do for money. I probably wouldn't do this if I wasn't making money doing it, as is like 99.999% of all the jobs that people have across the world.
Very true.
And then you have this other, and that's fine. That's not only legitimate, it's how, again, 99.99999% of the planet operates. And also you can still, by the way, you can still feel that way, but have pride in what you do.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. And then on the other side is you have this little piece of it where it's like, I just want to make, I'm an artist. I am separating myself from this other part that's just making money, because I'm trying to kind of preserve the thing that got me to want to do this in the first place. And I'd gladly do this if it didn't pay me money. I'd gladly do this forever, just because it's in me and I like doing it. And you can have those two separate parts of your life. I think when you try to combine everything into one, you start entering a lot of like cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, man. It gets blurry for sure. But I've like picked up other hobbies and stuff now too, that I can kind of get that creative, like, I don't know, creative bubble like out there. Like, I've been making beats and stuff just on the side as like a passion project sort of a thing, just to like, because now the graphic design thing doesn't really fill that void for me.
Right.
So like, just trying to pick up other things. Like, I've been skating since I was 10 and I'm 26 now. So like, skateboarding a lot more, trying to get back into like that sort of thing, hang out with like my homies that I was tight with back when I was 15, skating around, So doing stuff like that but yeah, man, I don't know. That was just something that's been on my mind, and I felt like you could relate to that in a way, because you have been doing
100%.
this for a while, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I said, you kind of can beat yourself up a little bit about being like, why is this turn into a job? But everything becomes a job, and everything becomes work. And I think you still be grateful, but it's like,
for sure,
it is what it is. You know, the way you feel is valid.
Right, and I recognize that I'm like in the position I'm in, like I'm super blessed. You know, I did what I set out to do. Mm-hmm. It's just like maybe not exactly what I expected it to be, which, you know, that's kind of everything in life. Here's
the thing about not beating yourself up is like, don't, like, you're not like, do this all from, I urge you to do this all from like a place of power, meaning like, okay, you know what, like very logically, like, okay, you know what, I'm like, I worked really hard to get to this point, and now I'm logically observing my emotions, and I'm observing that I'm not actually really fulfilled by this. And so instead of responding to that information by feeling like a piece of shit or quitting or spiraling into like self whatever, the best move is to look at this emotion logically and go, okay, what's the solution to this? And the solution to this is, okay, let me build some new aspect of my life that does fulfill me creatively, and look at this other aspect as just a job that makes money. Yeah. And I'm happy that it makes money, and I'll let it make money until it doesn't make money. And then, you know, on the other side, I'm just going to make sure, like, you'll feel better because you'll be like, okay, I took action on this feeling instead of just spiraling about it. And the action will, now you have your beats, or you have your fucking side DeviantArt account or whatever the fuck that kind of fills you up. So that's kind of how I would think about it. And that's how, you know, that's kind of how I've tried to think about it in my own life.
Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. It's just like, I feel like I got to shift that energy into whatever it is. The making beats thing has been a really good creative outlet for me, even though like I'm not doing anything with them, but like I think it's better that way, to keep it kind of like this sacred thing that like I'm not necessarily trying to make it bigger, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. You know? And also, by the way, the whole thing of like trying to make a, you know, I'm wrestling with this a lot. I'm really thinking about this a lot because I'm kind of in this period where I'm attempting to make this like career evolution diversion that's not like, and I'm starting from scratch a little bit, it almost feels. And I'm like reconciling with like, you know, oh, if I get too in my head about like making something a thing, then it just becomes another like stress point instead of like creation point. And so I, at least in my own kind of practice, I'm just like, okay, let me just do the work. Let me just like do the work and not worry that much about truly anything except, I mean, I can't help it. I'm naturally like, oh, what if I marketed it like this or did this? And I'm going to do that shit. But most above any of that is just like doing the work that makes you, doing work that you look back at and are happy with. You know, like I made that fucking Tijuana video.
Yeah, that shit was dope. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you liked it. And you know what? I think it performed better than I gave it credit for, but it maybe didn't like, you know, do. I think I'm just kind of being impatient. But I can look at that video and when I watch it, I'm like, I think this is really cool. And I made this the way I wanted to make it, and it's like the thing I'll look back at in my life and be like, I'm fucking stoked about this. And I just want to keep doing work where I'm like, okay, as long as I can look back on it, regardless of how many views it gets or if it ends up making money, as long as I can look back on it and be like, I'm happy with how this came out. This feels very me, and this is very like in alignment with myself. Then that's the only thing. That's the only I think real way forward. Because if something becomes successful because you compromised it in some way, then you're just back with a job again. So
exactly. I think if
everything
you're satisfied, that's all that really matters. Because also, like, if you do something and you're like, compromising, you're gonna look back at the thing, not the money, and be like, damn, I wish I did that differently.
Yeah, totally. And all this shit, a lot of this also shit is like random and luck. Because I see so many people. I mean, you know this. There's so many comedians, musicians, podcasters, YouTubers, TikTok, whatever people who are truly like really talented, and for whatever reason they just don't hit for whatever reason. And it's like the sauce involved in like hitting or not hitting is very elusive, and so truly the only thing to do it's like the only thing to do or worry about is what's within your control, which is like the actual work itself that you're doing.
And I try to take myself out of the actual thing and be like, okay, like take the pressure off, because like the pressure, it just makes you like, I don't know. I feel like no matter how much pressure or stress you put on yourself, everything's going to like work out in a specific way, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
kind of like the mindset that I try to put myself in. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, don't stress about it. Just get it done. Do the best that you can do at this moment.
Yeah.
And then once it's out there. You just let it happen.
That's what's so annoying about anxiety. That's what's so fucking annoying about anxiety is that it's like it truly, like, I was talking about regret. And I regret times I was worried. And it's like, that's the main reason I regret times I was worried, because it's like, wow, it didn't do. I mean, sometimes I think anxiety can like charge you into action, but a lot of times it also is just like, doesn't fucking do it. It
also takes you out of the moment,
Totally.
Because you're so worried about like how you are perceived or how, like, I don't know, in my case, like, what are they going to think of this? Because I do a lot of freelance stuff on the side, like in the music industry. So I'll like send some shit out and be like, damn, they might not like this at all. And I might have made myself look really bad at what I do. But, sometimes you just got to like not care. I don't know.
You just do the work and kind of try not to focus on anything else.
Yeah. So...
What did you say your name was again?
William.
It was nice talking to you about all this stuff, William. I do genuinely think about this shit a lot, so I'm glad that we could have this little call, and I could kind of work out these thoughts, and we can talk.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm glad I got through. I've been trying for so long, so I'm stoked.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go? You can plug yourself too if you want.
Could I? Okay, I'll plug my my graphic design page on Instagram. It's just WSDSGN. It's pretty much just like my first and last initial design, DSGN. So I have a lot of
that's what DSGN means.
I mean, in my head, I don't know if that's technically what it means. I wanted something short, so. But
like, I'm sorry, can I point out something hilarious? And I'm not saying this to be a dick, but
100%.
It's very funny to me that in the, like, your Instagram bio is, I just be making stuff.
Yeah.
And yet,
I'm not lying.
And yet the crux of our call is the both of us talking about attempting to actually embody what that bio is saying I just be making stuff. Like we're both trying to like live that, but the anxiety prevents you from just be making stuff.
It's more of like I see that and I'm like, all right, just make stuff.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Good. Good. No, it's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good bio.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna try to live by that. I'm gonna try to live by that too. I'm gonna let's both just be making stuff.
Let's both be making stuff. Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Are you coming to Florida anytime soon? Do you have a tour coming up?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna tour next. I'm fired up about going to random weird places first,
Yeah,
and then I might tour.
feel-
If people still want to see me, I'll cook something up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I feel like people always want to see you, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Every year I'm like, I don't know if people still want to see me do this, but
Yeah.
if they do, I'm down. I'll come.
Hell yeah.
Rock and roll. Take care, William. Good luck.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Bye, sir. I liked William. He's a good guy. I do empathize with him on a lot of those points. He's got to do stuff. Well, folks, that was it. That was the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't have anything else to say, but I think this was a good episode. I enjoyed recording it. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Let me know in the comments how you're doing. If you want. I read the Spotify comments. I shouldn't read the Spotify comments. I shouldn't read any comments, but I do. And I shouldn't tell people I read them because then they'll say things. They'll say stuff in them. But I do. I read them. Anyway, okay. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Geck bless. See you guys around the universe.